early in the year, I'm like, this is an easy playoff pick. It's Charlotte all the way for the 5th spot. And I was wrong. And I don't think, again, you look at Charlotte, and I have to put the blame on one guy, and it's Steve Clifford.
Oh.
I think you can't go out there and call out your guy, Lance Stevenson, and say he's not a star. That was inappropriate. And whether or not you believe he's a star or you don't believe he's a star, you don't call out your player in public. That was inappropriate on Steve Clifford's part, and he's going to pay for it. Karma's going to come back to this team, which it kind of has right now. And I don't think Charlotte makes it. I think you look at Milwaukee is better, Orlando is better. Let's see, looking at some other teams, Brooklyn is better. I mean, I would not. I don't see the Charlotte basketball team making the playoffs.
Yeah, it's been a tough. That'd be a very disappointing year, for Charlotte and their front office. You got to start looking at things. If you see this team wouldn't make it to the playoffs, you got to start assessing. Except for everyone thought the Lance Stevenson move was a great splash in the free agency.
I did.
A breakout star. And they said everyone's expendable except Kemba Walker and Al Jefferson, which I completely agree with. I don't know what that team needs. I think they need a knockdown three-point shooter. I think every team should have one of those Kyle Korver, Anthony Morrow type players who can knock down three very efficiently too.
They missed CDR, Mr. Short Shorts on the Clippers, knocking down threes. That's who they really needed for this playoff spark.
You're not getting dressed, are you? Yeah, he was surprisingly big for that team. I didn't think he'd have that big of a role, but by playoffs, he was knocking down corner threes, getting the crowd amped, getting Michael Jordan amped.
Yeah. So, Charlotte's case, unfortunately, they've been struggling. So I mentioned Lance Stevenson possibly going to Brooklyn and then, Joe Johnson coming to Charlotte. What about Dion Waiters? And a lot of people talked about him going on the trade block. If Cleveland wants to win a championship, do they have to let Waiters go and try to acquire some other talent?
Dion Waiters is a good player.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a good fit for the Cavs.
Yeah.
If the Cavs can get in return maybe a good, well, they have Delvedova's decent. If they can maybe get another big man, a serviceable shot blocking big man, that'll be a good return for them. But Waiters is a good player. He helps the Cavs when they need scoring, when some of their stars go to the bench. But he's on the block, definitely. But just you don't know what type of value you can get in the trade market.
What about like a Mo Williams? Or maybe, Toronto, it would be horrible if they gave up Lou Williams.
Oh, Lou's too good.
Yeah, Sweet Lou's just on fire. But Mo Williams, to me, he's a guy, he's been in Cleveland before. He's played with LeBron, even though has said some negative things towards LeBron before. But I think he would be willing to sacrifice to win a championship. I mean, that's what I hope for Cleveland's case. But
that'd be a good move. But his role wouldn't be so big. I don't think they go for a guard. I think you got to go big man at this point because Delvedova's a serviceable guard who doesn't necessarily need a score to be effective on the court. So I think if you could try to flip him for a big man or maybe package a deal or something for Waiters, that would be good for Cleveland.
Yeah, that would be good for Cleveland. What about the early MVP candidates? Who should be the kind of first quarter of the season MVP here?
My candidates, I'm gonna go James Harden, Anthony Davis, Steph Curry, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
He's having a crazy year, and maybe I'll just leave it at those three.
All right, here's my kind of top 5-ish. I may go 6, however. Okay, so number 1, just right now so far, I'm going to go with Curry, just right now. Number 2, Anthony Davis. Number 3, oh, this is going to be tough.
Marc Gasol, maybe? He's having a really
Yeah, Marc Gasol, okay. Number 4, I'm going to go with LeBron James. And number 5, Kyle Lowry.
How did I know that was going to get thrown in there?
Yeah, I had to throw him in there. I mean, anytime, and you look at Kyle Lowry, anytime you need a bucket or just any play, he's going to make it. And to me, we have to give him some consideration there, so I put him at the 5 spot. But Curry is the guy. I think Curry, he's been stepping it up. He's gotten better a little bit defensively, offense better, everything. He's shooting 50, 40, 90. 50% from the field, 40% from 3, 90% from the free throw line. With the amount of times he shoots, that's just really efficient shooting by Curry. So I'm going to go with Curry as a number 1 spot. But Anthony Davis is not far away. If he can get this team to the playoffs, and maybe, who knows, if they win a playoff round, wow. I mean, that would be huge for the Pelicans if they could do that. But, Anthony Davis is not far away.
He may not be on the best team, but he's just putting up – his numbers are too nice to ignore. They're just so ridiculous. The blocks, the rebounding, he's gotten better on offense too, which is crazy for a guy who's as good as he is. Marc Gasol's had a great year for a really good Memphis team. LeBron, you always got to include him. He's always going to be there. And Lowry, a little surprised by that one, but he's played before DeRozan went down. He was still playing better than DeRozan. I hope
all around,
DeRozan,
yeah.
I hope DeRozan can get right when he comes back, because they're going to need him. So he can't be rusty, but he most likely will. MVP is going to be a good race. And, Durant most likely will get thrown in there in a couple months.
But do you think at the end of the day it will still be between LeBron and Durant?
I think it'll be between those two. I don't know if LeBron ever wins another MVP, though.
Whoa, I don't know about that. Okay.
I don't know if he ever wins one. I definitely see KD winning another one.
Yeah, I do too.
This may even be Curry's year, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
You think of it as, if Golden State stays this hot, this could be the year Curry wins MVP. Wouldn't be surprised if AD won a few years. But I don't know about LeBron. I don't know.
Was it because LeBron's kind of just... He's to me, I say he's like a Swiss Army knife. Whatever you need him to do, he'll do it. He's not concerned about numbers or being flashy anymore. It's all about just winning plays, timely plays. That's kind of what I've been seeing from LeBron. Do you think he's kind of not really worried about MVP this or points or trying to get in the race?
Yeah, we've seen he's not that worried about that, and I don't think it really concerns him. I think his number 1 goal is to create chemistry with these guys, put them in a position to win, and put them in a position to win in the playoffs. Because a lot of these guys have never been to the playoffs. You look at Irving, you look at Love, your 2 other best players have no playoff. Do they have any playoff experience?
None
whatsoever. So and LeBron, we know how he's lived in the playoffs. Even when he was on Cleveland the first time, it's a whole different beast. It's a different scenario. You're playing every game for what you've done all season long, and And LeBron, I think he is very patient with the guys. We saw when they were on that losing streak and they were playing awful, how he was staying patient. He wasn't calling guys out like other guys like Kobe. We've seen him do this season.
Oh, you even admit it as a Kobe fan.
I can't deny that. Like I said, you knew he's gonna have to blow up eventually, but he was saying the way he phrased this was as if he was just testing the team by going off on them. Let me see if I could find the quote.
He said soft like Charmin.
Yeah, he said we're soft like Charmin, and then he said, I just challenge guys, see what happens. I've always believed in throwing them in the pool and then seeing if they can sink or swim. I don't agree with that at all. I think Kobe was just saying it to the media. I truly believe he was angry, and whatever happened at practice that day, something must have happened that got him really mentally. I can't handle this. But Kobe's been a guy I've been very impressed with his patience also.
I haven't. Actually, to me, I think he's completely underestimating the talent of his teammates. And I'll tell you why. Because I know they're not a good team at all, but when you're the leader of the franchise, I don't think it's appropriate to constantly remind and tell the media how bad the team is or how soft or how this or how that. It's a developmental process. And I know you, Cole, you don't want to necessarily be a part of that process because you want to win a championship, but you need to understand reality. And these guys are in a new situation and they don't know how to react. So you need to go out of your way to satisfy them. I think as a leader of the team, and that's kind of the difference between LeBron and Kobe. Because LeBron, I'll admit it, he does have a little bit of cooler in him. Meaning he'll sometimes, I don't want to say go through the motions, but he won't get on his guys as much as Kobe Bryant. But sometimes with Kobe, it's just completely over the top. And you can't even talk to the guy. I mean, I know that's a mean thing to say for a guy who's been playing for so long and who has had such a great career. But when does it come to a point where Kobe Bryant has to at least accept some of the blame for the Lakers' losses?
Blame for what? Exactly.
Blame for, at times, going out of the offense, trying to do things by himself, and really, not having great defensive performances either. I know he had the great game against Toronto. He had.
Well, the thing about that is I think Kobe knows the personnel on his team. He came into the year saying, I don't have a lot of talent. I'm going to work with what I can. I'm going to try to be patient. I think he really came into the season like that, and he's done an okay job up until yesterday. But it's Kobe, he's going to get his shots. And it's just, I don't think his teammates make the best of what they get.
Okay, you're right, but okay, let me just ask you this. He didn't just go out and say, okay, teammates are soft and like some reporter found a source. It was on video, and it was in front of his boss, Mitch Kupchak, his GM. Would you ever tell your boss, hey, the people I work with are soft, and I don't think they're good? I mean, personally, I would never say that in front of my boss. I don't think you would either.
No.
Exactly. That's my point when it comes to Kobe. Like, it's okay to call out or maybe inspire or light a fire, but don't go and say it in front of your boss in the fashion that he did. That was unprofessional.
And then he called out Kupchak. Remember, that was the second part when he said there are a couple expletives in the statement. He said these MFs ain't doing nothing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was saying these MFs ain't doing crap for me as he was walking off the court. So it's as if I don't think Kobe cares about that he was talking to his boss. It's that certain relationship he has. You can kind of compare it to, you know, so a junior